Hello, everyone. So, this is for your next day vibes. What is in store for you for the upcoming day? And obviously, this is like a timeless reading. So, whenever you find it, maybe there's something here for you. So, okay, so here's pile one, pile two, and pile three. You can pick as many as piles that jump out to you or whatever you want. Timestamps will be down below for those that already know which pile they want, but for those that need a little extra time, I will start the timer for a minute. Here you go. Okay, see you in the next section. Hello, group one. So, your vibes for tomorrow. Here we go. So, you have, first up, you have the Three of Swords. Now, this is always a rough card. This card is about heartbreak, betrayal, emotional pain, grief, and hurt. It says, feeling deeply hurt and disappointed. Feel your sadness, but continue to focus on your path ahead. The Three of Swords comes as a reminder that pain, sorrow, and grief are all a necessary part of the life. Without pain, you would never experience the challenges you need to grow and develop as a person. This will pass, and you will bounce back. This can relate to other people being hurtful to you, either through their words, actions, and intentions. So this really relates to other people kind of hurting you or you feeling hurt by someone else in some kind of way. So then you have this card is Path. It's about decisions, choices, and the Wheel of Fortune. Making decisions and acting on them, the road less traveled, no right or wrong way. And then you have the card Risk, and it says, learn to grow whenever you are planted. So you have health, your little stone is health. This rune here symbolizes money, success, wealth, status, power, mobility, and creativity. And then you have the symbol of Pisces, and Pisces is a water sign, and they represent sensitivity, psychic, dreamy, creative, charitable, and impressionable. And then you have the sun sign, and the sun is very masculine energy, basic. It covers our self, our ego, our aspirations, and our will. So you also, for your letters, you have K and N. You have blue and brown. No, this is black. Sorry. Sorry, this is black. And then you have retrograde, the symbol of retrograde. So to me, kind of putting this all together, you know, there's been some heartbreak. Maybe you're going to get some kind of news in the upcoming days that it hurts you a little bit. You're going to hear something that somebody maybe is saying about you, or something is going to kind of upset you a little bit. And it's going to be a disappointment. But these cards here are saying that, you know, you have other avenues you can go. So maybe something is not quite working out, but you have, with this Path card, is that you have other decisions you can make. And there's really no right or wrong way. You just need to choose which way you're going to go. And even if it's the road less traveled, it doesn't mean that it's a bad decision. It's just a different way to go about things. So with the Risk card, saying you learn to grow wherever you are planted. So this to me is saying that you might be actually deciding to go the road less traveled, and it might seem as being risky, but you can learn to overcome the obstacles going that way. That's what this is saying, that if you're going that way, you'll figure out how to overcome and grow in that situation. So with a health card, this could be relating to some health decisions you have to make, or it could be saying that because you're having this heartbreak, obviously it can affect our health, and sometimes just be mindful of your emotions and kind of the way it's affecting you. But with this little roan here, he's all about money and success and creativity and wealth. So I think by you experiencing this setback, it's going to create you to kind of evaluate different ways to go about things, or different a direction, and you're going to have actually success from it. I think it's saying that you're going to actually experience a lot of success, because you might be taking the riskier path, but it's going to lead you to success. And the Pisces is all about kind of psychic and dreamy and creative. So it might be, or sensitive. So he could be saying that you might be feeling a little sensitive, obviously, because if you're having the heartbreak, you might be a little bit more sensitive at the moment. But it also could be saying that you're going to be tapping into your creative, or to tap into your creative out aspects, because you might be able to find a creative way moving forward. And the sun being masculine energy, it's very strong energy, the sun. It's our self, our ego, and our aspirations and our will. So to me, this is all about, the sun to me is very determined. So a determined energy, like you're going to do it, nothing's standing in your way. So to me, this is saying that you're experiencing this heartbreak. It's causing you some sensitivity, and obviously it's upsetting you. But through your determination, you are going to choose a different direction or a different way to go about something. And this retrograde here could be really saying, with this risk card, that you might be deciding, because retrograde, obviously there's direct, and then planets go retrograde and things kind of go off balance. You might decide to take the riskier path, or the road less traveled, and you're going to go retrograde with that. You're going to go off course, take the road less traveled. It is more riskier, but through that, you're going to actually be reaping the rewards, and through your determination and your will, you're going to be reaping the rewards, and it will turn out to be successful. So that's kind of your vibes for today. Is maybe it could be a major life decision, or it could be something minor. It could be something silly. Sometimes these cards, it's not necessarily always about major life decisions. It could be something silly, like for instance, a restaurant that you wanted to go to closed, and you're disappointed. You're heartbroken. It was your favorite restaurant, and then you decide you're going to go for a drive somewhere else. You don't know where you're going, but then you come across a restaurant, and you're like, oh, I'll take the risk. I'm going to go eat there, and it turns out something to be a really good decision. So it could be something major, or it could relate to something more minor, especially because it's a daily reading. So it could relate to maybe a different decision you're making today. Something you got a little setback on something, but you decided to do something else, and you're reaping the rewards because you found a better restaurant or something, or you enjoy the restaurant. It could always relate to however it relates to you. That's how this relates to. So, okay. So there you go. So think of a question for the Magic 8 Ball. But first, we shall answer the most important question, the age-old question of what spirit of the dish shall be with you. Okay, here we go. Okay, which one was, no. Okay, this one wanted to jump out. You have the Ace of Manes, and this is the spirit of the canned soup. So the spirit of the canned soup is going to be with you. And then let's see what inspiration is for you, what inspirational quotes for you for So you got life is like the ocean. Sometimes it is calm seas and everything is smooth sailing. Other times you have to swim against the waves. So this really is going with this whole road less traveled, the two paths, and the risk cards. So it's really saying that maybe you are going to be taking some type of risk or a different direction that is a little bit unfamiliar to you. But sometimes you have to do that. And I think by doing that, you're going to kind of reap some rewards from that. So, okay. So let's do the question. Oh, Magic 8 Ball. What is the question for group 1? What is the answer? Not the question. What is the answer? I always say do that. What is the answer for group 1's question? It says, you may rely on it. The Magic 8 Ball has spoken, group 1. So I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye. Hello, group 2. So today for the next day, what's your upcoming day, I should say, you have the 9 of Swords. And this card is all about having an overactive mind, anxieties, worries, fears, depression, and nightmares. It represents negative thoughts that weigh heavily on our minds. You are worrying excessively about a situation and your negative thoughts are getting the better of you, leaving you stressed and anxious. It's all about fears and worries that can become self-fulfilling prophecies. As you obsess over what may go wrong, you are more likely to manifest it. It is important to break the cycle. Every time a negative emotion comes up, replace it with a positive one. Many of these fears are in our heads and may not actually represent what is really going on. So this card's all about overthinking. So then you have this one is Anchor. It represents standstill, security, playing safe, handling obligations, and long lasting. Then you have the Adventure card, which is Live Wild and Free. So over here, you have the Wealth Stone. And you have this ruin is actually represents success, vitality, good fortune, popularity. It is the higher self, the spiritual will, enlightenment, and divine blessings. And then you have, for your letters, you have K, Y, F, and B. Then you have the color blue and brown. And you have the month of January. So these could represent something to you. Take it how it is, how it comes. If it works for you, take it how it works. So anyway, so to me, this is what vibe this is all. Is that you might be kind of fixated on something. You're overthinking something, and we all do it from time to time. You're fixated on something. You're kind of having worries. You're stressing yourself out. And there could be some reason to stress yourself out, but sometimes we stress ourselves out too much, and it's not actually based in reality. Like we overthink things, and it's not really the way it's going to wind up playing. So we've stressed ourselves out for no reason whatsoever because things work out a different kind of way. So you're worried about something. You might not be sleeping very well. Something's stressing you out. And this is saying the Anchor to me is all about kind of being, it's obviously standstill, security, playing safe, handling obligations. But it could also be that this could also say to me that you need to ground yourself. You need to kind of stop being so much in your head and worrying about things that may not fully transpire, because sometimes that's what we do. We worry about things that are not actually happening. We're concerned about what may happen. But this is causing you to be stuck. And whatever you're doing, you might not be moving forward because you're kind of like at the standstill and you're kind of stuck with the situation. But the Adventure card is saying live wild and free. So to me, this is completely opposite of what this is and even what the Anchor is. And this is kind of giving you the advice that maybe, take some time, have some fun today, do something nice for yourself, get yourself out of this mindset, because when you have this card, when they say it's self-fulfilling prophecies, it's almost like the law of attraction. Like if you keep thinking constantly about something, you are more likely to attract it, because you kind of, what you put out comes back to you. So if you're having these negative thoughts, you're more likely to attract negative situations. So if you switch up your mind and maybe go for a little adventure, maybe this could be just taking the dog to a park or something, or do something different. Have a little time for yourself. You might be able to, and switch up your mindset, think more positive. You might be able to turn this all around. And through that, the wealth card, you could be worried about finances. With the wealth, this could be about finances you're stressed out about. But with this signifies success and vitality and good fortune. And spiritual will and enlightenment and divine blessings. So I think this is saying that things are going to work out. You're going to be okay. Maybe this is saying that, wealth, if you're worried about wealth, it's going to come to you. You're going to have what you need, and there's good fortune in your future, but you need to kind of switch up your mind thought a little bit, your thinking. So maybe that's the recommendation for you, is just to do something nice for yourself. Go for a little walk, switch your mindset up. If you're playing something safe, if you're worried to take a chance on something, because this could also signify that you're worried to take a chance on something. Maybe there's some opportunity or something that you might want to try, but it's a little bit out of your comfort zone. So you're playing it safe here. And I think that would, in that case, this is saying, do it. Do it. It's going to lead to abundance, or it's going to lead to good things. It's going to lead to prosperity on whatever level. It's going to lead to good things. So to have that adventure. But if it's saying that if you are in a situation and you're super stressed out, you need to kind of take some time. Having a little adventure is kind of like going on a break sometimes. So do something nice for yourself to switch up your thought processes so you can kind of move forward, because you're kind of stuck at the moment. Okay, so think about the question you want to ask the Magic 8 Ball. And we will first answer the age-old question of what spirit of the dish shall be with you on this day? Okay. You got the flame. And I definitely, so this is the sriracha sauce. So the flame is a little spicy. It adds a little life. I think this one is saying that you need to go on this adventure, add a little spice to your life. So with these two cards, it's definitely saying you need to add a little spice. So, okay. And let's see what your inspirational quote, what is Spirit saying your inspirational quote should be? Your life is your story. Write well, edit often. So that actually came out recently too. It's funny how sometimes these cards come out multiple times a week. So this is really how it resonates with this, is saying, obviously your life is your story. Write well, edit often. So you might need to, whatever's going on over here, you might need to be making different decisions, or you might need to decide to change things up. Sometimes this leads to almost like a death card moment, where you're going through a transition, you're ending something, you're changing something, you need to switch things up. So this could kind of be, this is the start maybe of you transforming something. Something is obviously not working quite well for you, so something has to change. So you might need to edit some things to kind of get to a better position where you're not feeling like this, however that is. Maybe it's a negative person, it could be toxic situations, toxic people, but you might need to, in the future, start really thinking about what is not working for you and get rid of what's not working for you. Keep what is working and just move forward. Sometimes that's easier said than done, but even if you're dealing with other negative people, you might need to start putting some boundaries up, and really firm boundaries. So that's kind of what goes with that. But take it how it works for you, because everybody's different. So take it how it kind of works for you. So let's answer the question of what is Group 2's answer to their question. It says, ask again later. So, okay. the 8 ball has a little sass. So he's not going to be answering your question. Maybe it's a question that is not quite, there's no answer quite yet, because you might need to, it might be something that you have different ways about going about something, so it doesn't really know right this moment. So, sorry, group 2, the 8 ball is just, he's being stubborn, but maybe he doesn't have all the information to answer your question properly today. So I hope you have a very nice day. Okay, bye. Hello, group 3. So for your vibes for the upcoming day, you have the 8 of Cups, and this card is all about disappointments, withdrawal, abandoning something in search of something better. You may have invested yourself into a situation, but it hasn't turned out the way you expected it to, and it is time to move on. Something is missing on an emotional and spiritual level. Deep down, you know it is not serving you, and you need to reevaluate the situation. Then this card is Man, and it can be relating to a specific man in your life, or masculine energy, a person who has more masculine energy. But this card also can indicate it's analytical and it's masculine and the masculine energies. So then you have the Change card. And this card says, falling leaves do not signify the end, but the beginning of a fruitful season. You have the Love Stone. And this ruin is about security, certainty, clarity, dramatic change, higher level of consciousness, and the path of destiny. So here we have Neptune, and he represents illusions, deceptions, and creativity. You also, for your letter, you have L, you have 8 and 0 for the numbers, and then you have light brown and gray for your colors. So kind of putting this all together, this could be to do with a love situation, because, I mean, if you're dating like a man or masculine energy and things are not kind of going well, this could really be because you have love, and there's a lot of kind of the masculine. It could be about somebody, a man or somebody more masculine that you're dealing with. Or if it's in a situation where people are kind of like acting, having those more masculine attributes, whoever seems to have like a little bit more of a masculine attribute, I think this is talking about that person. So it could be love or work or anything, obviously. So here we have the withdrawal, abandoning something. So this card is all about, you know what, you tried, something's not quite working, and it's you've put in a good effort. You did what you needed to do. You definitely put in the effort, but something is just not working, and you're cutting your losses. You're realizing, you know what, this is just not working. This isn't right for me. I can't get it to work. I put in the effort. I tried. It's just not happening. It's time to move on. So with the Change card saying falling leaves do not signify the end, but the beginning of a fruitful season, to me this is saying you're making changes, but it's not the end. Like, it's gonna, success or a better way of things or a better way of life or happiness is in your future. So whatever it is, it's talking that, you know, you are making the changes. Sometimes it's hard to make changes, but it's time to go, because this card is all about, you know, you're moving on, but things, you see that there could be obstacles in the view. Like, you're leaving something for something different, but you can tell that maybe there's going to be some obstacles kind of going forwards or certain things that you have to overcome. But this change is saying that, you know, it's going to be okay. Things change, things kind of die off in a sense, leaves die off, but it brings next season a beautiful, beautiful leaves, new leaves, fresh, life happens again, life lives again. So, and the love could just be like that you need to love yourself. This could be talking about a love situation, or this could be saying that you need to love yourself to make these changes, to move forward for yourself. So you need to put yourself first. And this one, he's about dramatic change as well. So definitely something, you might be starting the process. Obviously, because this is a daily reading, things don't always we don't always dig our foot in the sand or dig the stake in the sand and change all at once, but this could be like the start of change coming. Something could happen where, things in your mind or something is starting that change process for you. So I do feel that there will be some type of change kind of coming forward. Maybe it's just something happened where you're like, you know what, I'm done. You could have had what is it? I always say it's like the last straw moment. Something could have happened and you're like, this is it. This is the last straw. So, it could stem from, there might have been some, because this is about illusions and deception. So something shady might have happened and it came to light and it kind of gave you that last straw moment. So, but this is also about creativity. So it could be you're being inspired in some type of way, and through kind of your creativity, you're deciding you're gonna move forward. So yeah, so that's what I have for you. I think something may happen where you might be having a new perspective going forward on a situation, whether it's love or work or anything, hobbies, but something's going to happen where you're just like, you know what, I've given it a go. And this never comes suddenly. This card, it's a card where it's like, for a long time something wasn't quite working out, and you just finally decided. For a long time you're probably like, oh, I should really leave or do something or change this or do something. I got to do something about this. But you might not have made any of those decisions, but you might be at the point now where like, you know what, okay, it is time to make this decision and just start looking at other options moving forward. So that's what I have for you. So think of a question to ask the Magic 8 Ball, and then, and because these are dailies, this could be, to me, this really says, I think this might be actually a little bit more, sometimes some of these readings I think could just be like more minor stuff, but sometimes I think they could be talking about more major events in your life. And I do think that maybe this could have been a little bit more of a major, maybe not like totally major, but something definitely a little bit more of the not so minor something, because this definitely altogether, it seems like it might just be something it's time for something to kind of reevaluate, move forward in a different way. So, okay, but we will find out what spirit of the dish will be with you. Okay, so I like this. I think this is a nice little pick-me-up. So you got the Knight of Sweets, which is the chocolate chip cookie. So I think this is saying kind of that even though maybe something is a little bit disappointing and a little frustrating and you're going to be switching gears, and you know how sometimes you feel stuff like that, even though it will lead to better things in that moment, it's like, ugh, this didn't work out. You feel sorry for yourself. You're upset. You're disappointed. You haven't reaped the rewards of the change or making those new decisions quite yet. So you're still in the early phases. But the Knight of Sweets is here to say, you know what? It's okay. I'm here for you. So chocolate chip cookie's going to be there for you. So, but I think this is saying that, sweet things are to come. Just keep your head up. Okay, and let's do what your inspirational quote will be. Oh. Oh, this one keeps jumping out. So this one says, your life is your story. Write well, edit often. So this is definitely giving somebody a message. So with this, obviously, this is reminding you that your life is your story. Write well, edit often. So this is saying that whatever you're editing here, you got to do it. And sometimes we do have to edit. And sometimes we hang on to things too long. Like I think this is telling you might have this usually is a decision has been coming for a very long time. So you probably should have made this decision prior, but sometimes we We don't want to make decisions. We think, oh, maybe it'll get better, and it just doesn't really work out, or maybe it'll start working out, and it's just not. So this is just saying that sometimes you just need to edit, and don't be afraid to edit. So yeah, so that's that. So okay, let's see what the Magic 8 Ball says about your question, Group 3. It says you may rely on it. So the Magic 8 Ball has spoken. I hope you have a wonderful day, Group 3. Bye.